Shortly after the outbreak of World War II, British designer Barnes Wallis proposed a new method of warfare known as anti-civil engineering bombing. This tactic involved large-scale bombing of power stations, dams, bridges, and other key targets to paralyze the industrial operations of enemy countries, weakening the enemy's capabilities while minimizing civilian casualties. As is well known, targets such as dams and steel bridges are generally difficult to completely destroy with a single bombing raid. For example, the Long Bien Bridge in Vietnam withstood several years of bombing by the American military and was only destroyed after being struck by modern laser-guided bombs. Wallis proposed another bombing plan known as the earthquake bomb, which involved using large bombers to carry massive underground penetrating bombs. This would allow the bombs to penetrate deep into the target before exploding, creating a small earthquake from the underground explosion and disrupting the overall structure of the target. Following this tactic, a series of new aerial bombs were developed, such as the 12,000-pound Tallboy bomb and the 22,000-pound Grand Slam bomb. These massive bombs could be carried by large four-engine bombers, and the designer's original idea was to create a 10-ton super bomb with a weight similar to the Grand Slam, but requiring it to be dropped from an altitude of 12,000 meters, drilling 40 meters underground before detonating. At the time, this presented a major technological challenge, as there were no aircraft in the world capable of carrying such a large bomb to that altitude. The designer proposed the development of a large bomber, initially named the High-Altitude Stratospheric Bomber, later changed to the Victory Bomber. The Victory Bomber development project initially received some support, with the designer proposing a design for a 50-ton six-engine bomber with a layout similar to the Lancaster bomber, powered by 6 supercharged piston engines and expected to reach a flight altitude of 14,000 meters. It could only carry one 10-ton earthquake bomb, with a maximum speed of 566 kilometers per hour and a range of over 6,400 kilometers. Due to the high altitude, the aircraft needed a pressurized cockpit, and its only defensive weapons were 4 machine guns. There was also a closely related super-bomber project known as the Vickers Seaplan, which was a 75-ton high-altitude bomber only existing on paper. It had a payload capacity of 25,400 kilograms and a very radical aerodynamic layout. Described as a large bomber with a duck-wing structure and directional rudders on the wingtips, with power considerations including the then underdeveloped turbojet engine. These large bomber projects seemed promising, but the British authorities were also pragmatic. The development of such high-standard aircraft was no easy task, and at the time, existing aircraft like the B-17, Lancaster bomber, and the effective Tallboy-type bombs, as well as the potential development of jet fighters, led to the eventual termination of the development of the Victory bomber. Only wind tunnel models were produced, and the model is currently preserved in the Brooklands Museum.